So all in all, as crowded as it may be, it's better than doing what the Democrat Party is trying to do again, and that is have that anointed candidate where there's no opposition, which they tried to ram through many times before, and successfully. If you look at success as just winning the election, you'd rather have, 17, 18, 19 folks than, 1.5 and, down your throat, right?
Yeah, I mean, 17 is a little bit high number. I question some of these folks that have jumped into the race here lately, but you know what? They have a right to give it a shot. They have a pathway to victory that they think they've got there and they can get it done. Then I'm all for it. Then it just makes us better, I think. And I'm not really a believer in the anointed candidates. I think the Democrats have a major problem. They tried that before, and we ended up with Barack Obama. Which was not the anointed candidate, nor very well vetted by anybody. And I think the media let us down on that, and the Democratic Party let the entire country down by not vetting that candidate very well. And we've got some really big challenges we're going to have to get taken care of when he gets out of office.
We talked about Sarah Pack and the incredible video put out this week that you are featured in by Governor Palin and all those she has endorsed. Speaking of PACs, Gator Pack, something that you put together after that race in Louisiana. Tell us all about it. Let's get folks interested here because it's very exciting. Tell us what Gator Pack is and what people can do to find out more about it.
Well, Gators are central to life in Louisiana, and they were central to our campaign motto. At the event where you saw Sarah and I holding the alligator, my primary line in my speech there was that Washington, D.C. is a swamp, and the career politicians are the gators, and it's time to drain the swamp. So that's where the name Gator Pack came from. And it's a vehicle for giving liberty-minded citizens the teeth and tools to take our government back from the career politicians and make the people's voice be heard through the candidates that they want. It's designed as a federal super PAC. It's a hybrid PAC, so we can support candidates and do third-party expenditures. One side of our PAC can take unlimited donations. The other side, the candidate side, can take up to $5,000 per person per year and can give directly to candidates. We're working to inspire and recruit candidates, constitutional conservative candidates. We're working on the 2015 elections in the state of Louisiana right now. As a matter of fact, we're getting ready in the next week and a half to announce our first endorsements in the statewide races, like the governor's race, lieutenant governor, and attorney general's race here next couple of weeks. So we're excited about that. And we're training activists. We trained 100 brand new grassroots activists across the state with the Foundation for American Conservative Leadership training in the last 3 months. And we just want to promote policies of liberty, prosperity, and certainty at the state, local, and federal levels. And we're going to use that to keep our organization engaged, keep it growing, and continue to inspire and recruit those types of candidates and activists so we can have an impact on the future of our states, our communities, and our country.
All right, and people can find out more at gatorpac.com, GATORPAC.com. Colonel, not only Governor Palin, but many others were excited by your run. They liked the way you talked in plain English, so to speak, and were able to map things out. And I keep using this word common sense with you, but it just, comes to mind because it really everything makes a lot of sense that you talk about. And, you stick to core American values and tested and tried and true plans and blueprints that have worked in the past. So I got to ask you, does Colonel Rob Maness take a look at another run at something down the road here?
Well, I mentioned our governor's race is happening this year. Senator David Vitter's running in that race. He's the front runner right now. His Senate seat next year, at the end of its term, is November of 2016. So if he wins, he'll appoint his replacement in January. And there'll be virtually an open seat to take a look at and see if we can put a serious campaign together to see if we can take that seat for the people of Louisiana and the people of the United States, somebody that's not connected to the corporations and not connected to the political parties too much. Parties are tools, supposed to be tools, not the people that control everything that our politicians do. So we're looking at that. We're talking to prospective members of a team and putting things together that we would need to do to make a final decision there in January on whether we're going to try to get that seat or not.
All right. Well, we like to hear that. That's exciting. Gives people some hope and something to look at. But we know either way you'll be backing some top candidates, not unlike Governor Palin is doing as well. And as always, we thank you for your insight. It's wonderful to talk to you. And again, thank you so much for what you've done for this program. And I know I say this to you all the time, but thank you so very much for your decades of service to our country.
Well, thank you. It was a pleasure. It was an honor to get the opportunity to serve the country, and again, a pleasure to be with you. I hope to be back again soon sometime and give you an update.
For more, visit GatorPack.com. That's GatorPac.com. This past week, Governor Palin wished a happy 210th birthday to Alexis de Tocqueville. Palin writing on Facebook, quote, "This brilliant Frenchman's insight into our national character still rings true nearly 2 centuries after he wrote his famous book, Democracy in America, ever insightful and prophetic." Tocqueville understood the dangers of big government. He feared that over time, big government would strangle the free will of citizens, diminishing our capacity to think and act for ourselves, and reducing us to a herd of timid and industrious animals of which the government is the shepherd. But he offered solutions. He hoped that those having read his prescient book would come to understand democracy requires great attention and careful management. Specifically, he hoped we would strive to preserve for the individual the little independence, force, and originality that remains to him. In other words, when looking at any given policy, our lawmakers might look not at the benefits for their home district or vainly calculate attention from the next media hit, but rather look at what any given policy proposal's long-term effect will be on securing freedom and rights, making individuals stronger, more independent, more able to resist the tyranny of the majority and of a constantly growing administrative state is the goal, unquote. And Palin included a link to an article about Tocqueville that you can access on the Mama Grizzly Radio Facebook page. Even older than Tocqueville, the U.S. Coast Guard. A big happy 225th from Governor Palin. Palin posting the well wishes online this past week, along with a great Sarah Pack picture of the Coast Guard insignia. Guess who Lois Lerner and friends were looking into? Palin. No, not Sarah. Bristol Palin. Governor Palin wrote this past week online, "If 7 years ago I had predicted the Obama administration was targeting my family and all conservatives who posed a threat to their radical agenda, you never would have believed me, right? Well, And Palin included a telling piece from USA Today detailing the targeting of conservative groups, including an audit into Bristol Palin's compensation from a teen pregnancy charity. This all according to a new Senate report. You can see the article at the Mama Grizzly Radio Facebook page. And if you haven't seen the new Palin movie we discussed with Colonel Maness, go to sarahpac.com now and check it out. A powerful piece from Sarah Pac. To see any of the governor's posts in their entirety, visit Sarah Palin's Facebook page, follow her on Twitter at Sarah Palin USA, and go to sarahpalinchannel.com.